The first 10 episodes of Vikings' 6th season delivered some truly shocking moments, and now the show's final episodes have some big questions to answer. Before you dive back into the world of Vikings, however, here's everything you need to know about the second half of Season 6. History hasn't set an official release date for the second half of Vikings Season 6 yet, but all the evidence points to a fall release. Ahead of the 6th season's premiere in 2019, Deadline reported that the remaining 10 episodes of Season 6 are slated to air in 2020. If the report still holds true and the network wants to get the remaining episodes out in 2020, it would have to premiere by the first part of October at the latest. There's a good chance it'll actually be the following month, though, since the second parts of both Season 4 and Season 5 premiered in November and ran over into the following year. Luckily, Vikings Season 6 wrapped long before the COVID-19 pandemic shut down film and TV productions the world over, so nobody expects there to be any coronavirus-related delays when it comes to the remaining episodes. To their credit, the cast has been actively engaging with fans during the crisis, urging them to stay home and stay safe. Floki actor Gustaf Skarsgård won praise from his Vikings co-stars when he shared a Corona-themed poem on his Instagram, calling for hope in uncertain times.
I just wish I might have focused slice of hope. Peace to the entire globe.
Undoubtedly, the biggest question that Vikings fans will have after the mid-season finale is the fate of Alexander Ludwig's Bjorn Ironside. Bjorn had become the series' lead when his father departed for Valhalla in Season 4, thrown into a pit of snakes by Ayla and the Northumbrians. Following in Travis Fimmel's footsteps was always going to be tricky, but just as viewers were starting to accept Ludwig as the new face of the show, he was killed off in a similarly shocking fashion. Or was he? Bjorn was dealt a seemingly fatal blow from his brother Ivar in Season 6's 10th episode, though Ludwig has remained coy when quizzed about Bjorn's current status. In an interview with TV Guide, the actor teased, "That's the big question, I guess. It'll have to bring the fans back to keep watching. It certainly doesn't look good for him, I'll tell you that." Even someone as formidable as Bjorn Ironside is going to struggle to shake off being run through with a sword. But an on-set photo that Ludwig shared on his Instagram stories seemed to confirm that he doesn't die on the battlefield. In the snap, Ludwig sports Bjorn's scars and tattoos, but his beard and hair are gray, suggesting that he actually lives to old age. The actor told Entertainment Tonight that he'd been ordered to keep Bjorn's fate a secret, but he's also promised that viewers will encounter Bjorn in the next season, in some way, shape, or form. One fan explanation for Bjorn's gray beard is that everything that happened to him in the mid-season finale was some kind of vision or dream, a tactic the show has employed in the past. In its review for the mid-season finale, Forbes pointed out that the big battle scene between Bjorn's forces and Ivar's Rus army was incredibly hard to follow. The publication wrote, "Not only did it take place across multiple locations, at times out of chronological order, it was interspersed with Ivar's planning and an intimate conversation on the beach between Ivar and Bjorn." The unusual way in which the episode played out has some fans convinced it was all happening in Bjorn's head. As one Reddit user writes, "The title Best Laid Plans explains the entire episode. The reason it seemed like everyone was astral projecting everywhere is because the battle hasn't even begun." What if most of the episode is Bjorn's imagining different strategies and scenarios based on Ivar's plans? This popular fan theory gained some extra credence when Vikings creator Michael Hurst spoke to TV Guide and confirmed that not everything depicted in the mid-season finale actually happened. Hurst said, "I can't tell you too much, but what I can tell you is the mid-season premiere is an extraordinary episode, and a number of things that you thought were true at the end of the mid-season finale proved not to be quite true." Vikings fans were left baffled when Ragnar's most unremarkable son, Hvitserk, reunited with his brutal brother Ivar the Boneless in the first part of Season 6. Ivar had Hvitserk's girlfriend Thora burned alive, which sent him spiraling into addiction and madness, a madness that led him to accidentally murdering his father's first love in cold blood. Hvitserk is exiled from Kattegat after killing Lagertha, but instead of starting over by himself, he runs back to Ivar. Has he really forgiven Ivar for what he did? Or is Hvitserk pulling the wool over his brother's eyes? Some fans believe that Hvitserk will kill Ivar in the second half of Season 6. And Ivar actor Alex Hu Anderson would apparently be okay with this. Anderson told Entertainment Tonight, "One of his brothers should kill him. That would be karma with a capital K, and I like that." Anderson didn't single out Hvitserk as the one who should do the killing, but Michael Hurst has indicated that there's more to come from Hvitserk in the remaining 10 episodes. Speaking to TV Guide, Hearst praised Ilsu's performance and promised an extraordinary end to this character's arc. Hearst said, "He absolutely comes into his own and he finds out who he is. Taken over all the seasons that he's been in the show. It's a quite remarkable journey that he's been on and ends in this in an equally extraordinary way." Longtime fan favorite Floki was absent during the first part of Season 6, having been buried alive in a cave below an erupting volcano during the previous season. The whole Floki Goes to Iceland storyline wasn't very well received overall, but viewers have been clamoring for the return of Ragnar's old comrade, with many refusing to believe that he's really dead.
The space between life and death. That's where we are the most alive.
Gustav Skarsgård told his Instagram followers that Floki didn't make it out of that cave in a post that he shared ahead of the Season 6 premiere. But would Michael Hearst really kill off Floki with a full season of the show remaining? The short answer is no. And there's proof of this too. According to SoundtrackTracklist.com, track 26 of the Vikings Season 6 soundtrack album is titled Floki Tells of Why He Left Iceland, which seems pretty self-explanatory. Somebody will clearly sit down for a catch-up with Floki during the second part of Season 6, most likely Ubba. Ubba and his wife Torvi traveled to Iceland in search of the famous boat builder during the first part of Season 6, but they've yet to locate him, apparently because he's already left the island. So, where did he go? Skarsgård has reportedly been spotted filming scenes for Season 6, though at this stage their content is unknown. One popular fan theory is that Floki will become the new seer of Kattegat in the show's final episode. Ferdia Walsh-Pilo's King Alfred didn't show up during the first half of Vikings Season 6 either, but he's definitely set to make a triumphant return during the show's home stretch. In February 2020, Walsh-Pilo shared a behind-the-scenes snap of himself in character, revealing a new, grittier Alfred. He captioned the post, "Vikings 6B hitting your screens later this year. Be prepared for the wrath of Alfred 2.0. The actor was covered in blood in the image, which was taken by none other than Ivar the Boneless actor Alex Hu Anderson. The two will obviously go head-to-head in the second half of Vikings Season 6, after Ivar decides that he has unfinished business with Alfred and Wessex. Michael Hearst told Variety, "There are big set pieces and there's a lot to play for. By this stage, when they go back to England, Wessex is the last Saxon kingdom left. Every other kingdom in England has fallen to the Vikings. Alfred will defend his kingdom to his last breath, and it looks as though Hvitserk could be helping him." The final track on the Vikings Season 6 score is called Hvitserk Gets Baptized, suggesting that he'll ultimately side with the Christians over his brother. The 6th season episode Death and the Serpent marked the first appearance of Erik Thorvaldsen, a real-life Viking leader who founded the first Norse settlement on Greenland. Better known as Erik the Red, the real Thorvaldsen was exiled from Iceland after being found guilty of manslaughter and decided to sail west, where he happened upon a land full of fertile valleys and fjords. Thorvaldsen went on to become one of the most famous Vikings of all time, and it seems as though his TV counterpart has some big plans too. In Vikings, Thorvaldsen is an outlaw who steps in to help Bjorn Ironside in his feud with rival King Harald, the newly elected ruler of all Norway. He manages to save Bjorn's skin, but he doesn't do it simply because he's a nice guy. When asked if Bjorn could trust Erik, actor Eric Johnson told Entertainment Tonight, "For Erik, he has got his own agenda too. He has to look out for himself." The two Vikings join forces with Harald when Ivar and the Rus march on Vestfold. And when Harald is left badly wounded on the battlefield, it's Erik that scoops up his crown. Bjorn will no doubt expect Erik to hand the crown over to him, but will the outlaw part with it willingly? Another fan favorite who is yet to appear in Season 6 is Clive Standen's Rollo, brother of Ragnar Lothbrok and more than likely the real father of Ragnar's first son, Bjorn. Back in Season 1, it was established that Rollo had a relationship with Lagertha before she was with Ragnar, and Rollo has always maintained that he's Bjorn's biological father. Lagertha initially denied this, and Rollo hit another brick wall when he tried to broach the topic with Bjorn himself.
I've heard something to that effect, but rumors are doubtful truth.
According to Standen, he knew from the very beginning that Bjorn's parentage would come into question. During the run of the show's 5th season, the actor told Entertainment Tonight, "It's something that the very first director, Johan Renck, whispered into my ear. It's so rewarding to see that storyline, that it happened from a whisper into an actor's ear." Will this be the last of it, though? And will Duke Rollo return during the second half of Season 6 in some shape or form? Standen told the New York Post, "I'm not allowed to say, but Rollo never dies. can't kill Rollo. I think I'm one of the only original cast members that can hold their hand up and go, I'm still alive, still out there somewhere in the world. Ivar the Boneless has done some pretty terrible things since he debuted on the show back in Season 2. But according to Michael Hurst, Ivar isn't totally beyond redemption. In fact, he might be in the midst of it already. Hurst told TV Guide, I think Ivar actually has been redeemed to some extent by his relationship with the boy, with Igor. Instead of being the narcissist he's always been able to be emotionally generous, and empathetic. Ivar has taken the young Rus prince under his wing, and their relationship will no doubt play a part in his final arc. Bjorn actor Alexander Ludwig has also said that Ivar will come to regret the mistakes that he's made in the past by the end of Season 6. He explains, even a sociopath like Ivar has some sort of depth to him, and I think that towards the final 10 episodes you will see that. And according to Alex Hu Anderson himself, redemption will be Ivar's main goal during the second half of Season 6. He told TV Guide, I think he's a broken boy on the inside, and probably more broken on the inside than he is on the outside. And that's partly because he hates himself and he's not happy. So redemption would be a way to get there. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.